Okay, I thought today's vlog would be in honor of the fact that the new sitcom Last Man on Earth just premiered on Fox 9 p.m. with Will Forte and Christian Scholl, going to prove why it was titled The Last Man on Earth, not The Last Person. I thought I'd be doing this kind of like as if I was the last man on Earth. And I will say, if I was the last man on Earth, and this is, well, that's what's just the last person, but I mean, that's what's the last man. But if I really truly was the last person on Earth, then I would admit that I would behave I would behave almost kind of like Will Forte's character does, not to the point that I would want to try and want to destroy fish tanks with bowling balls. But when you consider the fact that there's no water running, I'm afraid your best latrine or toilet, I mean, I guess you can definitely have your run of every house of any place out there for a toilet or lavatory, but I don't know if I would be that raw and just pretty much go have at it at any swimming pool. But then again, you don't know sometimes what you would do until it happens to you. Anyway, but I can only imagine what I would truly look forward to, honestly. I don't have a driver's license, but I know that in a case like this, I would just know that the laws of, pretty much the laws of speeding wouldn't apply anymore at all. It would kind of feel like some, I guess, modern day equivalents of the Wild West. But I wouldn't be out there shooting any guns around like I'm Yosemite Sam. Although if there is nobody else on the planet, I mean, I could technically kill animals, but I wouldn't feel inclined to do that. I would try my best to eat as many fresh foods or fruits and vegetables out there. But then, of course, if there's no water running, electricity is only going to have, I can only imagine how limited this electricity is going to be. I mean, I have no idea in terms of between power. I guess power outages really couldn't happen unless something, like say maybe a tree falls on a certain power plant. Geez, it really is kind of a bizarre experience. But let's see. Yeah, I hope it won't get that terrifyingly scary, because then to think that if you really are the last person on the planet, there would be no internet, there would be no debt, there would be no hardly any currency, no checks and balances. I mean, the world is what you make of it. It's your oyster, it's your playground, it's your backyard, front yard, home. You probably kind of, in some mental way, feel like Alexander the Great, and at the same time knowing you have nothing working against you except probably yourself. And God forbid the rest, I mean, even after watching the first two episodes and knowing that they're going to get married on the third one, apparently, I tend to wonder if he's the last man on Earth, and Christian Scholl plays the last woman on Earth. And from what I could tell, I imagine that any possibly recurring characters would have to be in flashback or dream sequences. I can only imagine if pretty soon he's going to encounter animals, dogs, cats. What is this like at the zoo? I can only imagine. I mean, I understand it's set in Tucson, but I can. Jeez. Yeah, I can definitely vouch that if I found out I was the last person on Earth, I would definitely do my best, hopefully maybe get behind the wheel of a car if I had the key, and it at least had a good full tank of gas. That's another thing. Because I know that there's been a series out there on TV before. Trying to remember. Yeah, I think it's called No, it's not called If It Happened Tomorrow, but it's called If the World Stopped, or something about what would happen to every certain element, just about nearly every possible dynamic on the planet if the world, not so much if the world stopped revolving, but if nobody lived, if there was nobody there responsible for it, or nobody to look after it. I mean, all that food in supermarkets and other establishments would just suddenly be rotting. Of course, I would try to think my best to, put it in storage, put it in refrigerators or freezers, but those refrigerators and freezers rely on power to keep them operating, and it didn't think if I'm the only person I can hope, I don't know, I hope I manage to have some access to find out and make sure that all that power is still running, but then I would only be in basically one town on the planet, so it's like there's nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. Oh boy. I should be able to I hope they did a very good job. Yes. Yes. Not yet. Yeah, I know there's stuff called doomsday prophecies. I know there's doomsday preppers. I wonder what happened to them. They're still in the air. And there have been specials, I guess, out there. But I'm trying to remember the name of this one TV series. My partner liked to watch it. I'm very definitely sure that I know unquestionably that in terms of all the food out there, whether it's organic or made in the laboratory, one food that never spoils is honey. Yeah, well, I'm trying to remember the name of that TV show. Mm-hmm. Oh crap, what's the name of that show? It was more of a docu-series. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I can't remember what channel it was on. It might have been Nat Geo or... My partner would want to watch it with me. Or my partner wanted to see it first, and I eventually saw some episodes with him, but I can't remember it. I think it had something to do with The World Stopped Today. I think that's the title. I know I'm not thinking of that movie, If the Earth Stood, or The Day the Earth Stood Still. It's not really has anything to do with what if the world just stopped spinning. Wow, damn it. I'm trying to remember the name of that show. Hopefully if you can remember it, you can go ahead and post the comments underneath me. I doubt it's still even on. I wonder if it's even repeating or re-airing in reruns. I think that'll be the great big mystery of this episode. But anyway, I'm looking forward to watching Last Man on Earth on TV or online. I can definitely tell you that if I was the last person on Earth, I wouldn't be doing something like this, because I know nobody would be watching. I mean, I don't need to possibly even wonder if aliens did exist out there, if they would then want to inhabit this place, which I think might be a great storyline that Will Forte and his writers could tackle, you know? It's sort of been there, done that, almost with I Am Legend, the Omega Man, and, you know, in that case, those are scary, evil aliens. Maybe considering this something like post-apocalyptic sitcom, you could just really go the extra mile and just make them truly harmless and kind of fearless but not fearful. I can only imagine, because clearly they had to make Christian Shaw's character pretty much an almost polar opposite of him, because then that helps create friction, some possible tension, obvious tension, just a little bit of comedic drama, because I know Will Forte is capable of pulling off drama. He did in Nebraska, which I know was genuine based on the trailers. I still haven't seen that movie yet myself, but I don't know. And it'll be very interesting to see what storylines they come up with and have fun with, because we know, as far as I'm concerned, all these post-apocalyptic movies and TV shows and works of art, they're always, whether it's something like The Hunger Games or Blade Runner, God forbid, Terminator, or the machines take over. I guess that's not going to happen on the sitcom. I think what really matters is that we always remember that these post-apocalyptic works of art are reminders of making sure that this never, ever actually happens.